Drive by this ordinary office building, and you'd be forgiven for not giving it a second glance. Why would you? There are dozens just like it scattered all around the Silicon Valley neighborhood. But throw on your top secret security badge and step inside, and you quickly realize what goes on in here is anything but ordinary. Because behind these doors hides the most suppressed and powerful secret in all of human history. You see, this government-sponsored laboratory, called the Stanford Research Institute, or SRI, is the little-known force behind the greatest inventions of the last 50 years: the computer, internet, smartphone, and even Siri. All of these technological treasures come from the public research groups, but far more astonishing are the shadow team discoveries. Whistleblower Russell Targ, a new renowned Stanford physicist, CIA, Army, and NASA program leader, has revealed SRI was a secret research lab for an army of CIA psychic spies. The code name of this top secret outfit was Project Stargate, and as new first-hand testimony from top-ranked insiders reveal, the brilliant SRI researchers made a jaw-dropping discovery. They uncovered an ancient 30-second secret that gifts anyone superhuman powers. The same human technology used by royalty, elites, and the world's richest families to unlock infinite wealth, power, and status. When the CIA discovered it in the 70s, they harnessed it to defeat the Soviet Union. Now, for the first time ever, this secret is transforming the lives of ordinary people. In only 30 seconds, women and men from across the world are opening a mystical gateway inside of themselves, allowing them to heal, manifest wealth, find their soulmates, have mystical experiences, awaken psychic powers, and much, much more. And you can harness it too. As you'll see in just a moment, the human technology discovered by the Stargate Project is not made from wires, monitors, or circuit boards. Instead, it's something already within you now. A small, pea-sized, pine cone-shaped organ at the base of your brain, called the pineal gland. What many cultures around the world know as our third eye. This mysterious gland has been described as the seat of the soul and is responsible for our ability to connect to the universe, access higher consciousness, and allows us to manifest our thoughts into reality. For thousands of years, the pineal gland has been revered for the mystical powers it possesses. You can see these ancient depictions of Sumerian gods holding pine cones, which are widely accepted to represent our pineal gland. The ancient Egyptians also understood the sacred power of the pineal gland, as made evident by the Eye of Horus. The Eye of Horus and the human brain are remarkably similar in shape, with the pineal gland corresponding to the Eye of Horus pupil. Perhaps the most revealing is that at the center of the Vatican, one of the most holy sites in the world, sits a giant pine cone-shaped statue. And if that weren't enough to raise some eyebrows, the staff the Pope carries with him also has a pine cone engraved on it as well. It doesn't end there. If you've ever seen a statue of a Buddha's head, you'll notice the swirl at the center of his forehead. This represents Buddha's supernatural wisdom, which emanates directly from the pineal gland. Sometimes the best-kept secrets are hidden in plain sight. You have to wonder, why do all major religions, and even ancient civilizations, revere this little-known gland? Is it a mere coincidence? Or did they know something profound about the pineal gland? Something that has been hidden from the rest of us for centuries. In the next few minutes, you're going to find out many shocking revelations, and I promise, you're going to be left stunned when you learn the truth. You see, very few people actually understand how important this small, unassuming gland is. It has a profound impact on our life, our health, and our ability to connect directly to the universe to create unlimited abundance. You'll discover why they've gone through great lengths to conceal the truth about your pineal gland, and the lengths they've gone through to do it. You're also going to learn what happens when your pineal gland is not activated, and how it will literally become a ticking time bomb inside of your head, causing all sorts of serious health problems, some of which are fatal. But when you fully open your pineal gland and your third eye, the universe will open up to you, granting your every innermost desire. In order for the pineal gland to be able to communicate directly with the universe, You simply need to activate it. Do you think you know how to do it? I'd be surprised if you did, because this is one of their most closely guarded secrets. I can tell you it has nothing to do with transcendental meditation, listening to specific sound frequencies, traveling thousands of miles to practice with a yogi master, or anything else related to that. And you certainly don't need to spend hundreds of dollars on expensive programs from some online guru either. It's something simple anyone can do, and it only takes around 30 seconds. And if you stick around for a few moments, I'm going to reveal exactly what this 30-second activation method is. Once you've opened your third eye and your pineal gland is activated, your world will never be the same. You'll be able to effortlessly glide through life while manifesting all of your hopes and desires directly into reality. Wealth, love, happiness, peace, fulfillment. Imagine being able to never have to worry about another bill or rent payment again, because you've been so financially blessed that you no longer even need to work. Or waking up every day next to someone you're madly in love with and who loves you back the same way. Or realizing your life's true purpose and living the most fulfilling life you could ever imagine. You will even be able to tap into your latent psychic abilities, like an enhanced sixth sense and other amazing things. These are what await you when you learn to use the powers you truly possess by connecting with the universe. You'll be able to ascend spiritually, access higher consciousness, and become a self-actualized version of you, your true self. If it sounds too good to be true, it's not, because I'm going to show you real people who have used this simple 30-second activation method and how it allowed them to create the life of their dreams. So get ready to have your eyes truly opened, all three of them, because after seeing this, your life is going to change, and you'll never look at the world the same way again. That I can promise you. I want you to do something for me real fast. I want you to close your eyes for a second and think of something that you truly desire. Whether it's becoming wealthy, finding your soulmate, whatever it may be, visualize every detail in your mind. Try to visualize this with as much detail as possible. Think about how you're feeling during this, what you're wearing. Notice your surroundings and keep picturing it in your mind's eye. Now, open your eyes. If you were able to visualize this at all, you have the power to manifest and turn your visualizations into reality. In fact, you've already manifested it. It just doesn't exist in this reality. Yet. The thing is, scientists at CERN, the largest particle collider in the world, have proven that up to 11 dimensions exist. To simplify what that means, it allows for the possibility of the multiverse to exist. And no, I'm not talking about Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse. I'm talking about the multiverse, which has been proven to exist by quantum physics. What this means is that every possible thing that has happened, or could happen, exists in these upper dimensions, and the simple act of visualizing and imagining something allows you to interact with these other realms of existence. Now, I know that's a lot to unpack, and I don't want to turn this into a science lesson, but basically, what this means is that all versions of your life, every good or bad choice, every possible outcome of how your life could play out, does exist in other parallel realities located in these upper dimensions, which means that your best possible life is existing right now in another alternate universe. And the key to tapping into this, and to be able to access all of these possibilities, is your pineal gland. Just imagine what it would be like to activate your pineal gland and be able to tap into this. To be able to manifest endless abundance. To never have to worry about waking up at 6 a.m. so that you can be on time for a job you can't stand. Or being able to find true love, where it's so amazing it seems like it's something out of a movie. And finally being content and happy, having the confidence to know that you are finally in control of your destiny and can manifest whatever you want into reality. To be able to manifest something simply means to pull what already exists in the multiverse into our plane of existence. Despite what you have been conditioned to believe, we are multidimensional beings, capable of interacting with higher dimensions which are proven to exist in quantum physics. You might wonder why you've never heard of this before. Well, it has been quietly swept under the rug, hidden from the view of the general public. And if it weren't for Nikola Tesla, this ancient knowledge of how the pineal gland lets you interact with the universe may have remained hidden forever. Despite being one of the most prolific inventors of all time, Tesla also started to uncover some of the biggest secrets of the universe. It started in his 20s when he became fascinated by the pyramids in Egypt. He was convinced that the pyramids hid some type of ancient technology that allowed them to harness the electromagnetic field of the Earth and create unlimited energy. Funded by J.P. Morgan and inspired by his theory about the Great Pyramids in Egypt, Tesla created large coils that were able to transmit power wirelessly using nothing but the electromagnetic fields of the Earth, with the goal being able to have free wireless electricity for the entire world. When J.P. Morgan realized what this meant, he famously told him that he didn't see the point of it. If it were free, they wouldn't be able to charge any money for it. So like many other great ideas and inventions, it became stifled and blocked by big business to protect their profits. At the end of Tesla's life, when he passed away alone in a hotel room where he was living, the U.S. government immediately confiscated all of his works and research and classified it, so all of the things he was working on would never be made public. Many believe it was because his work shifted to understanding the laws of the universe and the true human potential. And some even say it was because he started to discover what many ancient civilizations knew about our pineal gland, something which the U.S. government had a keen interest in. He once famously said, "What is considered as empty space is just a manifestation of matter that is not awakened." And if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Fast forward to today, and now the way scientists thought the universe works has been turned upside down over the past few years, as quantum physics proved that everything in the universe is made up of energy and vibration. Even the hardest steel, at the atomic level, is not solid at all. It's energy and vibration. This is proving what Tesla knew all along, except he understood that the pineal gland was what allowed us as humans to tap into these higher dimensions and allow us to manifest our desires directly into reality. You see, his idea to create unlimited free energy and our pineal gland have something in common, and I'll explain that in just a second. But first, in order to really understand how special this pea-sized pineal gland we all possess is, and how this information I'm about to share with you is going to end up changing your life in ways you can never imagine, you must first know a little bit about our brain and the true nature of reality. In Hinduism, the pineal gland is represented by the Ajna chakra, which is the sixth chakra. If you've ever practiced yoga or meditation, you've probably seen the symbol that represents this chakra, as it represents two lotus petals joined together, which ironically symbolizes the left and right brain hemispheres joining together. You remember what I said about secrets being hidden in plain sight, right? Well, it turns out the pineal gland is the only thing that unites our left and right brain hemispheres. Think of it as a gatekeeper. And when your third eye is fully open, it allows both of your brain hemispheres to communicate to each other. When it's not activated, think of it as a dam, not allowing energy to flow from one side of your brain to the other. When it is fully opened, it unlocks areas in your brain that allow you to access the universe directly and allows manifestation to actually work. This knowledge is sacred and closely guarded, to say the least, because it's so powerful. It's the real reason why Tesla's work was confiscated by the government. You will literally be able to use your mind to influence the universe to bend to your will and manifest your deepest desires directly into your life. Just imagine being able to heal your body from pain and sickness, or to create wealth and abundance just by focusing your mind on what you desire. And like I said before, the ancient knowledge of this by the Egyptians and other cultures is more than evident. Not only did they know about the pineal gland and how it united our brain hemispheres, but they also referred to it as the third eye, and there's a reason for that. The pineal gland contains the same rods and cone cells that our two eyes have. These cells are used to perceive light and colors, so our third eye is a lot more similar to our two eyes than you may have realized. Our third eye is mentioned in holy books like the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and even the Holy Bible. The Bible makes mention of our third eye with this quote, "The eye is the lamp of the body." So if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. Matthew 6:22. Notice how the Bible specifically says eye and not eyes in this passage. This passage is essentially saying that if your third eye is open, you will be illuminated. But how is this possible? Well, once again, science is catching up to what the ancients already knew. Recently, Israeli scientists discovered microscopic rhombohedral crystals on our pineal gland. These crystals have piezoelectric properties, which means they can become electrically activated from the biorhythm of your own body. Now again, I know most people watching this are not scientists, but basically, it means that the specific shapes of these crystals on our pineal gland give it some amazing properties, and this is no accident. Once these crystals are activated, they can start calling energy back to them, building their own electromagnetic field. This is essentially turning your entire body into a transceiver, which allows you to send and receive information, much like how Tesla's free energy invention operated. Except the information you're able to send and receive is directly from the universe and these other higher vibrational dimensions. This is why the pineal gland is the key to being able to manifest, and without it, it is not possible to do. It is the gateway that allows you to send and receive information from these other realms, and this is one of the best kept secrets on the planet. Trying to manifest without having a functional pineal gland would be like having a cell phone and trying to place a call while the battery is dead. There is only one problem with all of this. In order for your pineal gland to actually work the way it was intended, and for you to be able to activate it, it needs to be healthy. The issue is, by the time we're about 6 years old, our pineal gland is already starting to be affected. And by the time we're an adult, it looks like this. Notice how the top portion has already been covered in calcium? It becomes tainted, polluted, and entombed in a toxic calcified shell. And this is what happens to nearly 97% of people on the planet. There is almost no avoiding it. The pollutants that attack your pineal gland are in the air, the food, and even the water. There is no escaping it. When your pineal gland is in an unhealthy state like this, you will be stuck in a low vibrational state, unable to manifest anything, no matter what you try to do. Not only that, but a toxified pineal gland has been linked to hypothyroidism, which can cause weight gain, reproductive issues in men and women, serious brain disorders like Alzheimer's, low energy, depression, poor sleep, lowered libido, and even accelerated aging. Yes, that is a lot to be worried about. Oh, and did I forget to mention what else it has been linked to? Cancer. And you won't believe what's causing it. Or should I say, who is causing it and why. But before we go on, I have to warn you, what I'm about to tell you is pretty controversial, and it is not for the faint of heart. So if you want to turn back now, I understand. But if you're ready for the truth, if you can handle the truth, then please pay attention, because you'll never see the world the same way after hearing this story. Hi, I'm Eric Thompson, and what I'm about to reveal to you is an incredibly shocking but true story about what I accidentally uncovered about the pineal gland and what its true purpose is. I'm what most people would consider a pretty normal guy. I have a wife named Angela, a son Carl, and our beloved dog, Howard. I grew up in Midwest America, which is where we still reside to this day. I seemed to have a pretty good knack for science while in school and ended up getting a scholarship to go to college, where I studied to become a dentist. I've always considered myself to be a very rational, science-minded person. So if you would have told me a year ago I'd be telling you this story today about the pineal gland, quantum physics, and manifestation, I would have laughed aloud. You see, sometimes something seemingly insignificant can alter the course of your life in ways you would not believe. Just like how you happened to stumble across this page today, that seemingly insignificant clicking of your mouse button may end up changing your life forever. For me, it was just another day at work that started my journey. I was on my way to my dentist office in the morning hours, just like I always was, Monday through Friday. We had more patients to see than normal, so I was going to be pretty busy, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary besides that. I guess you could consider me lucky, because I actually enjoyed my work. One of the things I like most about being a dentist is that you get to meet people from all walks of life and get to know them over time. Of course, there will always be the patients that you don't really enjoy seeing once in a while too, and today was one of those days. It was this patient of mine, who let's just call Steve for patient confidentiality. Steve and I just didn't see eye to eye on nearly every topic out there. Sports teams, religion, politics, TV shows, and even medicine. You see, Steve has been coming to my dental clinic for maybe 10 years now, so we've gotten to know each other fairly well. This time was no different, but for some reason I was particularly annoyed with him today. You see, he was always talking about natural remedy this and homeopathic that. He was what I would describe as a New Age type of person, someone who was into meditation, yoga, taking and creating his own natural supplements, and apparently incense because he usually smelled like it. It seemed like he had a natural cure for everything, and medicine had little to no value to him. I, of course, was not trained that way and believed in medicine, and what I've been taught going to school for all those years. When it came time to clean Steve's teeth, he said he didn't want any fluoride treatment this time. "That stuff is toxic, Dr. Thompson. I have no idea why dentists still administer that stuff in this day and age," he replied. You see, this is how almost all of his visits went. Usually it was some weird tinfoil hat conspiracy, and we'd spend the entire visit going back and forth about it. This time, though, I was particularly annoyed because he was basically insulting my intelligence. I was the dentist, not him, and he was lecturing me on what I do. "Steve, that's ridiculous. Where did you get such a crazy idea? Fluoride has been used to help prevent tooth decay for as long as I can remember," I said. Then he brought up how there is a warning label on toothpaste containing fluoride saying to contact poison control if you swallow any. So then I said, "Yes, Steve, but almost anything is bad for you if you take too much. The same thing could be said about taking baby aspirin." "Well, why are they adding it to the water if it says to call poison control if you take too much of it on a toothpaste label? That stuff is more toxic than lead." "Steve, it's safe. Trust me." "But Dr. Thompson, with all due respect, there was a paper published by Harvard University talking about how fluoride lowers the IQ in children," he said. "Steve, come on. Where did you hear that nonsense from? Some conspiracy website?" I was starting to really get annoyed with him at that point, when he said, "Tell you what, when you have some spare time, you can read it for yourself. And if I'm right about this, can I have my next visit be free?" "Okay, sure, Steve. You've got yourself a deal." He got out of the chair and got ready to head out as he was smiling. "See you in 6 months, Steve. And don't forget your credit card," I said jokingly as he left. While my wife was out of town, I had some free time on my hands, and I couldn't stop thinking about what Steve had said to me. I decided to pour myself a nice glass of red wine and hop online to do a bit of my own research. I was sure within 1 minute I'd find out that he was mistaken. After a few minutes of searching, I found the study he was talking about. Sure enough, it was a Harvard study, listed right on their own website. "That's odd," I thought to myself. "I wonder why I've never heard of this," I murmured. The conclusion of the study said that children that drank fluoridated water could have their IQ drop by 7 points versus children who drank non-fluoridated water. 7 points is actually pretty significant. One of the other alarming things I read was fluoride seems to fit in with lead, mercury, and other poisons that cause chemical brain drain. This really piqued my interest. How could this be true? So I started digging. I came across not one, not two, but 27 other peer-reviewed papers talking about the harmful effects of fluoride in our water supply and in dental practice. I was starting to get really worried. Had everything I'd been taught been a lie, or perhaps some kind of half-truth? While there is some evidence that in small amounts it can help prevent tooth decay, there is seemingly an enormous amount of evidence showing how bad it can be for our health. Now, I know you're wondering what this all has to do with your pineal gland and your ability to connect to higher consciousness, right? Well, you're going to find out in just a moment, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be shocked. When you realize how easy it truly is to create a life where you're healthy, wealthy, confident, and happy by interfacing with the universe using your pineal gland, you're going to be a bit upset that you didn't discover it earlier. You see, after I started reading those papers, I still did not want to admit I was wrong. Admitting I was wrong could potentially mean admitting that I had harmed some people indirectly, and that what I had learned in school was wrong, or possibly even a lie. So I began frantically searching for things to disprove what I had read. But what I found next was even more disturbing. The Environment Protection Agency, EPA, labels it as toxic waste. And I found out that it is used in things such as pesticides and even rat poison. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, labels it as a drug. So I thought to myself, if it's labeled as a drug, why is it being forced on practically over 90% of the US population without their consent? Last time I checked, you have to get someone's permission to administer a drug to them, especially one that is labeled as hazardous waste by the EPA. Fluoride is also now being linked to other health issues besides lowering IQs in children, like low testosterone in men, reproductive damage, hormonal issues in women, thyroid damage, which can result in weight gain, and also many other issues as well. I guess Steve was right. This stuff is more toxic than lead. Why would they do something like this? I couldn't understand it. By this point, I had spent nearly the entire weekend researching this stuff when I stumbled across some old military documents talking about how one of the worst figures in history, Adolf Hitler, added fluoride to the water in the Jewish death camps. And I'm sure it wasn't because he was concerned for the health of their teeth. I felt sick to my stomach. I need to get to the bottom of this. There was only one person I could think of that may know the answer to what was going on here, and I was seeing him next week. My family and I were invited to a family friend's birthday party. In order to keep things private, as you'll see why I need to do in a second, let's just call him Mike. You see, Mike and my father went way back. They've been friends since they were kids and grew up together. They served in the Army together when they graduated high school and remained close friends until my father passed away a few years ago. Growing up, Mike was almost like a second father and was there for me after I lost my father and still keeps in touch to this day. Mike was a pretty normal guy, but there was one thing that stood out about him. He worked for the government. At least, that's what my dad told me. Ever since I was a young child, he just kept it very vague and said that he wasn't really able to talk about what he did, and I wasn't allowed to ask him about it. It wasn't until I was a teenager that I found out who he truly worked for: the CIA. You see, not everyone that works for the CIA are men dressed in black with dark glasses. The CIA has assets everywhere. School teachers, celebrities, factory workers, you name it. I'd be willing to bet that every time you leave your house, you've come in contact with at least one person directly employed by the CIA or loosely affiliated with them. I was so determined to get to the bottom of this fluoride mess I've stumbled onto, and I figured since he was now retired, maybe he would be willing to open up a bit more, especially after we had a few beers at his party. Later that week at his party, after most of the people had left, he came up to me and was asking me how I'd been. This is the perfect chance to bring it up to him, I thought. After a bit of small talk, I decided to ask him about it. He started to say, "Well, it's to prevent tooth decay. You should know that." But then I looked at him and said, "Come on, don't BS me. I've read the studies. What's really going on here?" Suddenly, his face changed, and he said, "Come on, let's go up to my office." After we went into his office, he locked the door behind him and told me to have a seat. What he was about to tell me would alter the course of my life forever and will change yours as well. What makes you think I know anything about fluoride in the water? Just because I worked for the CIA doesn't mean I know everything. We're highly compartmentalized, you know. Please, Uncle Mike, I just want to know the truth. He still didn't say anything, and I felt pissed off. I could tell by the look on his face that he was not telling me everything he knew. I said, "Never mind, I shouldn't have asked," and got up to go to the door, when he said, "Wait, sit back down. Let me see your cell phone." I handed it over, and he pulled out some kind of metal box from his desk and put it inside. "What's that?" I said. "It's a Faraday cage. It prevents any wireless signals from entering or leaving this box." You never know who may be listening. Then he asked me directly, "Are you sure you can handle the truth?" I said yes. "I want to know why we're adding this stuff to our water if the Nazi Party was adding it to the water in the Jewish prison camps. Were they trying to make them docile and not resist? Were they trying to poison them?" "No," he said. "They were trying to destroy their pineal gland." He wanted to make them totally helpless and crush them mentally, physically, and spiritually. Hitler understood that by shutting down the pineal gland, you would be cutting off their ability to connect to the universe, as well as making them docile slaves. Hitler knew from the stuff he found studying ancient mysticism that the pineal gland was indeed what allowed individuals to manifest thoughts, wishes, hopes into reality, and was responsible for accessing higher spiritual realms of existence. "That sounds crazy," I said. "Well, let me explain. You see, during the war, Hitler did anything he could to gain the edge over the Allies. He was obsessed with the occult, as well as other esoteric practices, and thought that they may hold the key to winning the war. After all, how else could a small country like Germany manage to defeat the American, British, and French empires without having a secret weapon of sorts? He had teams of scientists studying hieroglyphics, cuneiform tablets, and ancient scrolls, searching for hidden knowledge that may give him the power to turn the tides of the war in his favor. Hitler was very aware of mystic knowledge and the third eye. Then he asked me if I knew when the war ended. I said 1945. "That's right," he said. "Did you know when they started to add fluoride to the water for the first time in the United States?" I'm not sure actually." 1945, right after the war ended. "They first tested adding it in Grand Rapids, Michigan," he said. "They got the idea from Hitler." This sent shivers down my spine. You see, after the war ended, 1,600 scientists, engineers, and other technicians were taken to the U.S. to be employed by the U.S. government in what was known as Operation Paperclip. Not only were we able to get incredible geniuses to come work for us, like Wernher von Braun, the father of modern rocketry who helped found NASA, but we also got access to a lot of the research that Hitler had compiled about ancient civilizations, mysticism, manifestation, and the occult. This is when we figured out the true reason behind why he was adding fluoride to the water in the internment camps. You have to understand, the CIA's purpose is not to safeguard us from foreign adversaries, but it's to protect the government from us. You know this is true because of whistleblowers like Edward Snowden, who proved that the US government is actively spying on its citizens. And then there are illegal programs like MK-Ultra from the CIA, where they use psychedelic drugs on unsuspecting citizens, along with psychological torture techniques in order to achieve mind control. They're trying to prevent you from having spiritually enhanced abilities and enlightenment, because they want to maintain control. The government needs you to depend on them. A dumbed-down, spiritually broken population is much easier to control, and corrupting the pineal gland with fluoride was the perfect way to do it, as Hitler had figured out. You see, fluoride is attracted to the pineal gland like a magnet is attracted to iron. Over time, it calcifies your pineal gland and inhibits your ability to use your third eye. Think about it. If you had the ability to heal your body without the aid of expensive pharmaceutical drugs, manifest wealth and opportunities, happiness, love, and understanding, what need would you have for the government? He went on to talk more about this mysterious pineal gland. The agency continued its research into what they discovered from the Nazi Party, and also into the pineal gland. When they discovered the true potential of activating your pineal gland and fully opening your third eye, this spawned other projects, like the Stargate Project. With the Stargate Project, which started in the 1970s, they were exploring the potential of fully opening your third eye in order to use psychic abilities against the enemy during warfare. To the astonishment of everyone, people that had their third eye opened gained psychic abilities that allowed them to fully describe enemy remote locations they have never seen before. For instance, take the now public Zaire incident in 1979. A Russian spy plane goes down in the remote jungle of Zaire without a trace. In order to get there before the Russians, they call in the Third Eye spies. From a base across the ocean, the team pinpoints coordinates 80 miles from the search zone. When the helicopters get there, they're shocked to find natives carrying pieces of wreckage. Word gets to President Carter, who is on record saying this is the first time as president something happened he could not explain. Even though it may have been the first, it wasn't the last. While they declassified this program later on in the 90s and claimed that it had not been successful, I can assure you that is not the case. He went on to say, "We still use psychic spies to this day, and police departments around the world will consult with psychics in order to help solve crimes or find missing persons. I know this because my friend at the agency worked in the program. The people they recruited to the program went through a strict detoxification process to cleanse their pineal gland. One day, while we were having a few drinks at the bar, he was talking about the program and mentioned what these people were actually taking to purify their pineal gland and open their third eye. I decided to write down the ingredients on a napkin and was planning on researching them a bit more when I had some time. He opened up a desk drawer, pulled out the napkin, and showed it to me. "Here," he said. "You see, I'm not making it up. I don't understand. All this time when I was going to school and giving my patients fluoride, you didn't say a word to me." "Listen, it wouldn't have mattered," he murmured. "This stuff isn't just in our water. It's in the air we breathe, the food we eat. It's not the only thing out there attacking your pineal gland anyway. Besides, I figured the less you knew about the way the world really worked, the better. Ignorance is bliss, after all. Anyways, it's getting pretty late. I've already said way more than I should have." He took my phone out of the Faraday cage box and handed it back to me. Before I left, he said, "Wait a sec," and took the napkin that contained the ingredients they used to cleanse the pineal gland and put it in my pocket. "Here, I want you to have this. Maybe you can do some good with it. It's not helping anyone staying locked away in some old man's desk drawer." I wished him a happy birthday again and then headed back home. The next few months, I spent following up on the things that my Uncle Mike had told me, and every single thing he said about these government programs appeared to be true. MK Ultra, the date when they first started using fluoride, the Stargate project, everything was true. Next, I researched everything I could about the pineal gland, which led me down a rabbit hole of studying everything I could about chakras, mysticism, the law of attraction, consciousness, meditation. You name it, I probably studied it. I even discovered another leaked CIA document that was some research into the secret laws of the universe. One of the highlights from this paper was that humans and the universe share consciousness, and that we tap into it almost like a radio tunes into a radio station. One day, my wife came into our home office and brought my pills with a glass of water. Pills for my blood pressure, heartburn, diabetes. Should I even be taking these? I thought. Then it hit me. Maybe I should take the list of ingredients my Uncle Mike gave me that cleanses the pineal gland and try to make my own pill. Could it really work? I looked over the ingredients scribbled down on this old napkin, but most of them I've never heard of. There was one person I knew that may know something about them, and he was due in my office next week. My favorite patient, Steve. When Steve finally showed up in my office again for his dental cleaning, I told the woman working at the desk not to bill him for today's visit. Steve looked at me and smiled as he walked into the room and sat in the dental chair. "So, what did you find out, Dr. Thompson?" he said. I spent the next hour or so talking with Steve about all of the things I had discovered since he told me about that Harvard study about fluoride. We talked about what my Uncle Mike had told me about the secret government programs related to the pineal gland. We talked about quantum physics, manifestation, the chakra system. I felt like I could talk to Steve for hours, but I couldn't believe how knowledgeable he actually was when it came to this stuff. I told him my idea about creating the supplement that the CIA used and showed him the ingredient list. His eyes suddenly got really wide when he saw it. "I'm not sure I'd be able to get some of these ingredients. I may have to call in a few favors with people I know. Some of these are very rare," he said. After a week went by, I got a call from Steve, and he sounded very excited. He explained that he was able to secure all 7 ingredients, including one that was practically non-existent in the US, native to India, and used by high-level yogi masters. They were very hesitant about exporting any of this to the West, but Steve was able to make it happen. There is only one problem. How will we know if it actually works? Luckily, I have already thought about that. I had a college friend who went on to become a neurologist. His office had all sorts of equipment that was used to do imaging of the brain, and he agreed to help Steve and I by doing imaging of our brain before and after we started taking this experimental supplement. I figured once our pineal gland starts to be activated, we should be able to see an uptick in the electromagnetic activity in our brain. And I was right. While we were waiting for the first samples from the lab that Steve worked with to create this supplement, I had a brain scan done. Here is an image of my brain scan before I started using the supplement. Notice how there are not a whole lot of areas that are lit up? Well, after we received the supplement, and I started taking it for a week, I went back to my neurologist friend and did a follow-up scan. Here is what it looks like now. And Steve's was also very similar to mine. We both looked at each other in astonishment. It works. This is what happens when you use both hemispheres of your brain at the same time. We had physical proof that something was happening. The electromagnetic resonance was building in our brain. Over the course of the next few weeks or so, I started to really notice things. I felt more energized. I was sleeping better. I was able to think more clearly. I also started to feel like I had some sort of psychic intuition. I was able to feel other people's feelings and intentions. It was as if my sixth sense became fully alive. Then, later that week, I had a doctor's appointment for my annual checkup. Shockingly, my blood pressure was way down, my cholesterol was down, and I even lost weight, which is strange because my diet was still the same. My doctor patted me on the back and told me he knew I had been working hard to get back into shape, and it's paying off. But that couldn't be further from the truth. I just knew. It was from all of the toxins flushing out of my body because of this formula Steve and I had developed. After that, I decided to throw away my blood pressure medication and all of the other junk prescriptions that were poisoning my body, and I never looked back. And I've never felt healthier. But that was just the beginning. With my chakras now fully opened, my root chakra, which is responsible primarily for your ability to draw wealth and abundance, was now fully functioning. That led to all kinds of things happening that all ended up having the same result. Lots and lots of money flowing directly into my life. First, it was my dental practice. Even though I didn't advertise, my business had literally doubled within 1 month. I now had more patients than I could even handle. Then, I got a check for $12,323.23 in the mail from some class action lawsuit I totally forgot about from years ago. It didn't stop there. Not long after that, I got a knock at the door. It was a lawyer, and he explained that I had a wealthy great uncle with no living heirs other than me, and decided to leave half of his wealth to me and the other half to charity. Stuff like this never happened to me normally, and it's all because I had activated my third eye. I felt like I was 20 years old again. I'm healthier, happier, wealthier, and now have the confidence of knowing that I'm in control of my life. All I needed to do was to focus on what it was that I desire, and the universe would bring it directly into my life, one way or another. After experiencing this, I knew I had to share it with the rest of the world. I wanted to get back at the groups of people trying to suppress this knowledge about our pineal gland, and the people who are poisoning our water, our food, our air, helping to destroy our ability to spiritually ascend and damage our health. The same people hoarding this knowledge for themselves, while they enjoy all of the benefits and the gifts the universe has to offer. Introducing Pineal XT, the world's first and only all-natural supplement specifically formulated to cleanse and decalcify your pineal gland, as well as magnify your ability to manifest by activating your third eye. This formulation is based on the exact same formula I was told the CIA used, and may still use, to help enhance the abilities of their operatives. It's used by the elites, the powerful people in the know, and other wealthy, connected people. It contains 7 of the most powerful pineal gland detoxifiers known to man, that work synergistically to not only cleanse the pineal gland, but also to enhance its ability to manifest. In order to open your third eye and connect to the universe, you need to do 3 things. which Pineal XT is designed to do. Step 1. Detoxify your body. You first need to purify as much of the toxins from your body as you can. All of the pollutants in the air, your water, the heavy toxic metals that have built up in your system, the chemicals added to your food, they're not only damaging your health, they're also preventing you from being able to manifest. To do this, we included purified iodine as part of the formula. This powerful iodine is the same type that the military uses to create anti-radiation pills, potassium iodine. Iodine not only helps the thyroid gland regulate hormones, but it also helps rid the body of fluoride and other heavy metals by allowing it to pass through your body instead of being absorbed. Iodine is an essential mineral, and if we do not get enough of it in our body, we can actually die. Another essential ingredient added to this formula is something called burdock. This powerful root extract is used as a blood purifier, helping eliminate toxins in your bloodstream that can damage your brain as well as your pineal gland. Remember, the more pure your body is, the more easily you're going to be able to connect to the divine and manifest your desires into reality. Step 2. Decalcify your pineal gland. You cannot manifest and connect to the universe if your pineal gland is toxified. It allows your left and right brain hemispheres to interact during the manifestation process and interact with the universe. If it's toxified, it won't be possible. To help purify your pineal gland, we've included some powerful ingredients that have been proven to work. First is all-natural chaga mushroom powder. This has been used for thousands of years by the ancient Egyptians for the incredible health benefits. It is known to lower blood sugar, lower cholesterol, reduce harmful bacteria that causes things like irritable bowel syndrome. It has also been shown to help prevent cancer, slow the rate of cancer growth, and reduce the size of cancerous tumors. Chaga also contains the most amount of melanin out of any other substance on Earth, which is also concentrated within the pineal gland, helping protect it against calcification due to fluoride and other pollutants. It supports the activation of our pineal gland, or third eye, awakening ourselves to source energy, deepening our intuition, awareness, and oneness. The next ingredient is nicknamed super dust because of its bluish-green hue, chlorella powder. Rich with chlorophyll, omega-3 fatty acids, and proteins, it helps decimate the toxic shell that is built up around your pineal gland by removing heavy metals like mercury, fluoride, dioxin, and cadmium, which are naturally attracted to it. Finally, turmeric, which is derived from a root primarily located in India, was added. Turmeric contains something called curcuminoids, which according to a major scientific study, are shown to not only prevent damage to the pineal gland caused by fluoride, but also reverse damage that has already been done. Step 3. Supercharge your pineal gland. This is what really makes this formula unique. Now that your body has been purified and your pineal gland decalcified, these next ingredients supercharge your pineal gland's ability to connect to the universe and allow you to manifest whatever it is you desire. The first ingredient is amla fruit extract. Amla fruit, which is extremely difficult to find, has been used for centuries in Buddhism and yogis to help attain enlightenment by enhancing the electrical conductivity of the rhombohedral crystals located on our pineal gland. The result is an enhanced ability to manifest and a stronger connection to the universe. It also contains gallic acid, which has been shown to help decalcify the pineal gland. We also have schisandra powder, revered in Chinese medicine and considered deeply beneficial to your qi, or life force. This ingredient is very difficult to find, and without the proper connections, you may never find it, because it's only available in northern China and eastern Russia. It helps enhance the electromagnetic field generated by your pineal gland by supercharging your life force. It also helps protect your pineal gland by supporting the function of your liver. That means more toxins in your blood will be broken down by your liver, instead of binding to your pineal gland. Pineal XT is all natural and made right here in the USA in an FDA-registered facility. It's gluten-free, non-GMO, and is not available anywhere else except here on this website, while we're still able to source the ingredients. Pineal XT not only starts detoxifying the hard shell buildup around your pineal gland and magnifies the electrical field it generates, but it also starts eliminating toxic chemicals and heavy metals built up in your body. It's absolutely crucial to rid your body of these horrible toxins and to decalcify your pineal gland. Because if you don't take action, you will probably never achieve the life you desire. Remember, your ideal life already exists in the multiverse. You just need to manifest it here in your reality. Unlimited abundance, happiness, a loving partner by your side. They're all right there, just waiting for you to call them into existence. But if you decide to ignore your pineal gland and continue to let it decay, it can be like a ticking time bomb, just waiting to go off. It can lead to the development of cancerous tumors, cluster headaches, horrible neurological diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, weight gain, premature menopause, anxiety, and more, according to the Cleveland Clinic. This is just what could happen if you don't detoxify your pineal gland, not even mentioning the other things that will happen to you over time if you don't rid your body of the toxins building up in it. I can promise you, once you try Pineal XT, your life will never be the same. But don't take my word for it alone. Listen to what other people have had to say about it when they tried it. With thousands of reviews from all around the world and an average of 4.8 out of 5 stars, Pineal XT has touched the lives of many, including Stephanie from Chicago, Illinois. Listen to what she had to say about Pineal XT. After hearing about it from a friend, I decided to try it out for myself. I was a bit skeptical at first, but just like Dr. Thompson explains on his website, I started noticing incredible changes within a week or so. I felt more energized. I was able to sleep better. I felt almost euphoric, happy, and excited. I also started to have dreams, something I haven't had for years. And then one night, while I was visiting my sister in Los Angeles, I had a dream of a horrific train accident. It shook me up because I was supposed to take the train back to Chicago later that week. Something in my gut told me not to take the train, so I booked a flight instead. I saw in the news later on the train I was supposed to take hit a dump truck, injuring 150 people and killing 4. I am positive I had this dream because of Pineal XT, and it may have very well saved my life. After this happened, I went back and ordered 10 more bottles. There's no way I'm taking the chance of not being able to get more of this. We receive emails and video responses to Pineal XT like this on a daily basis. We have already changed the lives of thousands of people around the world, and you could be the next success story. Using Pineal XT is also extremely simple. It doesn't matter what time of day you take a capsule, so you don't have to fret about trying to remember the exact time, and it also doesn't need to be taken with food. After a week or less, you should already start to feel more energized, have more focus, be able to fall asleep easier, and get deep, restful sleep. As the powerful ingredients begin to detoxify your pineal gland and your body, your pineal gland will begin to open. You will start to notice a deeper spiritual connection with the universe, deeper levels of intuition. You may have vivid dreams and much more. After a month or so, you may notice that you're starting to lose stubborn body fat as your thyroid starts to work properly again. Your LDL cholesterol levels may drop, and your blood pressure could begin coming back down to baseline. You'll also notice a reduction in anxiety, depression, and other low-vibration emotional states as well. And by now, your pineal gland should be open to the point where you can begin the manifestation process. And I've got you covered there as well. I've put together a detailed, easy-to-follow 19-page guide called The Top 5 Ways to Manifest. It will show you step-by-step how to visualize what you desire and use your third eye's natural ability to manifest your desires into reality. And I'm going to give it to you absolutely free if you act today. We've also put together another incredible guide called Awaken Your Psychic Powers. Now that your third eye is finally open, you have the ability to tap into psychic powers that you never knew you possessed. We'll show you different exercises to strengthen them and how to activate them within this detailed guide. You'll finally be able to take control of your life and live it the way you want. You'll be the author of your own fantasy life, instead of being a character in some twisted plot, as you effortlessly glide through the rest of your life, filled with abundance, love, wealth, health, and happiness, as if you're living life using a cheat code. Just imagine being able to finally get whatever you desire most in this life. Most people would just consider this wishful thinking without realizing that it's entirely possible and just outside of their grasp. Pineal XT is the key that unlocks this possibility. And again, I need to make something 100% clear. Other online gurus trying to teach you how to manifest and other online manifestation programs you may have tried haven't worked for you because it's not possible to manifest and tap into the universe unless you have activated your third eye. So let me ask you, what would being able to fulfill your deepest desires be worth to you? Some people would kill to be able to achieve this. Others would spend thousands, heck, even millions of dollars. With that being said, $1,000 for one bottle of Pineal XT would be a very reasonable price for what it lets you do. But we're not going to charge $1,000 for it. We're not even going to charge $500, which would still be an incredible bargain given the rarity of the ingredients and the new life full of possibilities that will open up to you. In fact, in order to help get back at Big Pharma and the elite for covering up this information, I'm going to be offering Pineal XT at a cost everyone can afford, because everyone deserves to have this in their life. So, if we still have some in stock, you can grab it at the price you see below. All you need to do is select 1, 3, or 6 bottles below, and then enter in your order information on the next page. In case you're wondering, most people order 6 bottles simply because it's the best deal we offer, and there is a high likelihood that once we run out of our supply, we'll be forced to raise our prices if we're even able to source these ingredients again. All orders are kept confidential, and your personal information is protected by 256-bit encryption. Once you place your order, it will be processed within 24 hours and rush delivered to you in discreet packaging anywhere in the world with free shipping insurance. Once you do, you'll become part of our family and join the thousands of others who have changed their lives with Pineal XT. And myself and others will be here for you every step of the way to help you with any questions you have. I do need to warn you, we highly recommend getting as many bottles as you can because we have a very limited stock and we have no idea if we're going to continue being able to get some of the ingredients needed to create Pineal XT. Also, to help get back at what they've been doing to us for years, I'm personally donating a portion of the sales to a 501(c) accredited charity that helps supply clean drinking water to people in Africa. So help support a great cause and help those in need of life's most basic necessities. We're so sure that Pineal XT is going to change your life that we'll make you the best guarantee you've ever heard. If you don't start feeling better, losing unwanted fat, sleeping better, having more energy, if you don't start noticing more psychic intuition, having prophetic dreams, if you're not able to start manifesting new opportunities into your life, if you don't start receiving financial gifts and wealth flowing directly to you, if you're still alone or unhappy in your relationship, stuck, or feeling unfulfilled, we'll give you a full refund, no questions asked, even up to 1 year of your purchase. All we ask is that you try it out and see for yourself. So the way I see it, you have a choice to make. You can continue on the path you're on now, fighting an uphill battle spiritually and physically as your body continues to get poisoned by toxic chemicals that are almost unavoidable, and remain a slave to Big Pharma, who only desires to keep you fat, sick, and dumbed down so they can prescribe you medicine. Or you can take action today and detoxify that shell surrounding your pineal gland, preventing you from interacting with the universe, blocking you from true happiness, stopping you from achieving your dreams, and purify the toxins that have built up in your blood, your brain, and in your organs. I know you'll make the right choice because you have nothing to risk. And I just know it wasn't an accident that you found this page today. I can't wait to hear about all of the blessings the universe is going to bestow on you. Your new life starts today.